All right. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. So, welcome back to another cast with Trendfollowing Tyson. Let me take a look at the markets. We'll take a look and see what we got here. So, we're gonna go ahead and pick up a quote from. We'll go ahead and pick up a quote from Paul Tudor Jones, and this is going to be in regards to like risk management and defensive trading. Remember what I told you guys about Floyd Mayweather, which was one of the best fighters of all time. Okay, one of the most decorated fighters of all time, and his secret quote unquote sauce was his defense. Okay, he was a defensive based fighter. This is where the success came from. Okay, so it's the same thing we're dealing with here when we're looking at Paul Tudor Jones. All right, the success was built off of the defense, and we'll take a look at exactly what defense we're talking about here. All right, we'll take a look at exactly what defense we're talking about. So, all right, and this is imperative. This is imperative, especially in this. The reason why I'm bringing this quote is because I think it's imperative for us to be. Excuse me. I think it's imperative for us to be trading defensive in this at this time right now. I think it's very imperative for us to be trading defensive while the markets are so uncertain. We had so many uptrends that we're following, and some of them seem to be not setting higher highs. Some of them seem to be in this channeling stage or this drawdown stage or this pullback stage. A lot of the trends are just not setting higher highs. There's a few, and we've got the ones to look at that are setting higher highs and lows. But, you know, the majority of what I'm saying is that these markets are red and moves are not sustaining the way that they normally are. So at this point in time, I think it's most imperative that we trade defensive. Okay? So where you want to be is always in control, never wishing, always trading, and always first and foremost protecting your ass. That's why most people lose money as individual investors or traders, because they're not focusing on losing money. They need to focus on the money they have at risk and how much capital is at risk in any single investment they have. If everyone spent 90% of the time of their time on that, not 90% of the time on pie in the sky ideas on how much money they're going to make, then they will be incredibly successful investors. This is from Paul Tudor Jones, a billionaire investor who probably knows what he's talking about. And I just gave you the correlation with Floyd Mayweather and Paul Tudor Jones with the defensiveness. All right? And like I said, at this time in the market, there is no more crucial time to trade defensive. There's no more crucial time to trade defensive. All right? Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the trend picture, and this will send us in to finish the week off. YEXT, all right? Opened at 850, had a high of 1912, and closed at 1903. Okay, so this is upside. The stock was green today, and as you see, let me just give you a nice kind of visual on this. Not that much of a visual. Let's take things to where we can understand what's happening. Okay, let's tighten the move up a little bit so we can understand what the stock's doing. Okay, so we're at an uptrend here, clear uptrend. All right. Now, let's look at the last uptrend behavior so that when this stock is pulling back, we understand why it's pulling back. Uptrend here with some pullback. Uptrend here with some pullback. Uptrend here with some pullback. This last move, before this last move happened, we had an uptrend and we had a pullback, and then prices curled and set a higher high. And as you see, when prices curled and they got to this higher high, see the space? See the candle? That's a breakout. Prices broke out of this area. Remember I said a lot of times when prices meet previous resistance levels, they'll give a candle to signify a clear breakout. So we broke out of here and we continued. Now we're dipping and we're looks like we're getting this curling action, this rounding action starting to come back in to meet these higher highs. So although this stock has dropped and it may give some pullback tomorrow, watch them. All these stocks, the stocks that we're looking at, guys, I'm not saying go out and buy every single stock we're looking at here. I'm saying when the markets open up, you see what gives you an entry, you see what serves best, see what trends you can get a ride on with the respected risk management in play, okay? So I like for this stock to continue. All right, I like this. I'd like for this to continue, and I'd put a stop. If we can't do business at 1850, then that's just it. We just can't. Give it some space here at 1840. But if we can't hold 1840, then stop out. All right, YEXT, XENE. I traded this stock earlier this year. Had a lot of luck. Let me show you how it looks on the chart. We're green today, as you see. We opened at let's see. Let me see what. Let me get you guys today's prices. Okay. So we opened at 785, had a high of 925, and closed at 865. Okay, that's where we sit right now at 865. So XENE, let me show you how it looks, because I was trading this earlier this year and I really liked how it looked, what the chart had showed on it. Okay. So, I remember seeing this here on the chart, and I seen it rounding back here at around 4. And I said, I think we're trying to test this area. Okay? And we've clearly, now we're inside of this. We're clearly at this area now. So look for XENE to continue through this and start setting some more upside. So this looks a lot like TNDM, guys. TM had this long downtrend and then another little loop down here, and then it started curving. All right, so TNDM's currently curling right now. It's kind of sideways at this point. And I'll show you XENE, XENE. All right, so I like for it to hold these prices over here. 805, kind of give it some space since this was a giant candle it broke out of. And it might even turn old resistance here into support. So 845, 850, or this candle here at 805. Stop yourself out at 8. There's no need to do business. That's a large stop, very large stop though. Let's see. Yep. So look for prices to hold up inside this candle. Look for prices. First level of support here, and if we can't hold 8, then let's just not do business. All right. With the markets being so red, there's no need to be trying to hold stocks that are going to continue to go red or set lower lows, no matter how beautiful the chart looks. If the stock starts setting lower lows, then you need to stop yourself out and move to the next stock. ENPH. All right. The reason why I like rounding bottom so much is because it's safer and it's more, it's more consistent price action. All right. ENPH. All right. See it still rounding? Prices are still rounding. So that's green. That's a go. ENPH, that's a go. All right. See what happened here today. Opened at 672. Had a high of 755 and closed at 695, which is where we're sitting now. Remember what I told you guys about this rounding bottom, okay? We've been watching it since it broke out of 5 right here. Okay, so ENPH had a good day today despite all the ruckus in the market. So this is another stock to watch for strength and for some decisiveness. Not like some of the stocks that are in a clear uptrend and they pull back 20%. Not those kind of stocks. Alright? So this thing's just working its way. It's not in a straight shot. Alright? But it's working its way up. So that rounding bottom is continuing on the ENPH. What I say, guys, if this, so I said this was a rounding bottom back here. So this proves that it's actually the pattern that it says it is, because as time prevails, price action on this stock continues to round. Look at this. Price action still rounding right here. Look, when we broke out, what is price doing, guys? It's rounding to the upside. Rounding to the upside. Rounding, it's still rounding to the upside. That's why it's green today, because it's still rounding to the upside. Alright? This stock can be down here. It can be clearly over here. It doesn't have to be rounding, but it is, because that's the pattern that it's in. So we'll just sit here and watch charts fulfill on ENPH. MRNS looking good. Had a green day today. I'm only showing you guys what's green today and what's possible to be green tomorrow. I'm not going to give you guys any crap that's liable to get caught up in the trenches out there. It's not what we're doing here. Notice I had my little life truck. This was support, and I said if stock comes below this. This was back when I was trading it earlier this year, and then it had this downtrend. And when it started setting these new higher highs, I said, okay, looks like the move is on. But I said if prices trade below this, then I said we might need to get the ambulance out. We might need to call an ambulance. Okay. So we got continuation on MRNS. Let me show you how it looks, and I'd like for it to come up here and get through this eventually. This is the key point right here. All right, so let's go back here and take a quick look. All right, so this is the key point we're looking at right here. So we got a clear uptrend here, and we're looking for MRNS to continue. All right. I think this stock's slightly red today. Opened at 710. Closed at 707, so slightly red, but you see the upside pushing there, right? We'll look at MRNS for tomorrow. EGAN, we'll take a look at WWE. EGAN looking strong. Believe I showed you guys this yesterday. All right. Yeah, I'm sure I did, because this was the trend line I was talking to you guys about. So we'll look at what happened today with EGAN, okay? All right, look for EGAN to continue tomorrow. Opened at 1465, had a high of 1550, and then closed at 1440. So it closed red, which is odd, but it had a beautiful, nice move up here. Didn't hold prices, but this broke out of this area just yesterday, okay? Here's the candle from yesterday here. So we broke out of this, all right? And then we tried to set another candle on top, all right? Tried to set for some continuation. So just look for this thing to hold this levels here like it looks like it's holding. Hold these candles. At least hold this level. You can take an entry now and set your stop at 13 at this top level here at $14. If prices can't hold here, let's just not trade it. All right, prices should be holding up here in between $13.85 and $14, $14 and $13.85, so you can put your stop here and your limit down at $13.85. Okay, EGAN for continuation. TNDM still stuck in this little weird spot. Still showing some strength though, because it hasn't given everything back. All right, it's still in that structure. See how it's sideways now? See how it's sideways? But last time it was sideways, it was still holding a support level, and it just totally rallied over that support level. Okay, so look for this thing to keep holding these prices. All right, hold $21. This thing is so volatile, man. You have to have some room if you want to trade this thing, because it's so volatile. All right. I mean, it could drop clearly down to 21 and then be back at 23 or be at 24. So let's just watch this thing. Never know when it's going to give that jolt to head out. Continue on. TRXC had a horrible day today. I took a big loss in this thing today. Took a horrible loss in this thing today. All right, just wasn't trading correctly. Just wasn't expecting that major drop in price. I think it's this to this, and then it came back up. It's just horrible. Ugh. Bad day on TRXC. I really don't know what's going to happen with this stock, guys. I can't give you any ideas. We're just waiting to see what's going to happen with it. It's holding this support level here. You never know. You never know what's going to happen though. So I'm not sure. I'm just uncertain at this point. With the market's behavior and this stock behaving, you know, with this long drop here, where the whole point is just like, I don't know. I'll wait to see what happens tomorrow with the TRXC. I wouldn't even take an entry on this, and then I wouldn't even trade it anywhere near below 475. Because if it cracks below 475, there's nothing to hold it up. It can clearly just tank and give back everything that it took here when it took off. All right, made this decent move. It could possibly just give all of that back because it's already set a large slump here. Okay, prices just gapped down today, tried to retrieve, and then just continued to slump. So that thing doesn't look too well right now. We'll see what works out with that. WWE, let's shake that ugliness off us and look at some real stocks, some real strength. All right. WWE, just aggressive, just beastie. All right. Look for this thing to set a higher high possibly. See this? Normally when you get a red and a green by itself, especially at the bottom of a chart, it's followed by continuation. You get a red, this is like bunny teeth, so to speak, they call it. Bunny teeth. You get these bunny teeth, normally followed by continuation. Stock was red, didn't kind of hold up its price, but the next day held all those prices and more. Okay, so look for this thing. Sort of, what do they call this? Engulfed this red candle. So look for this to continue, for some possible continuation on WWE. Wonderful stock, doing wonderful things. That's a type of long you take it and you ride it. You don't buy and sell. Look at this thing. So if you bought this back at back at these breakout prices here, and you wanted to buy the breakout back when the stock market was behaving consistently and correctly, I don't know what's going on with it now. But if you took a buy stop here, I mean, that was at 35. You're at 74 now. That's $40. Okay. A huge winner on WWE. Good stock right now. FNKO, FNKO. Remember what I said, guys. Trade defensive in this market. In your career, you should be focusing, basing your trading process and your trading strategy and your trading arithmetic around defensiveness, about always trading, not looking at what can I make, what can I lose, and how should I manage that? Where should I stop at? Well, how big of a position size do I take on this stock, considering what I have in my account versus how much this stock is, versus how big of a position I can take on it, versus how much of a loss I can take and that still be 1 to 2%. All right? Always manage your risk. Okay? So look for FNKO to continue. It's real strong. You guys see this, right? Really nice, strong stock. Has its little pops here and pulls back and then over rallies that. All right, pull back here and then starting to over rally this next one. Okay, so watch for this thing for continuation. FNKO, I think it had a good day today. Opened at 1173 and finished at 1196. Okay, so green day on FNKO. Any stocks that are green right now in this current market, I'm going to be paying attention to, because it's horrible out there. Anything that's showing a sense of direction at this point in time, I'm going to be definitely keeping an eye on it. You like for stocks that showing strength despite the whole Trump business and the whole trade wars and the whole red bearish market thing, okay? But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm like 75% in cash right now. All right, I don't have a lot of opens right now until some of these stocks start showing me what we're doing and what's going on, and show me that we're going to get some continuation here. All right, so SSW had a breakout and then actually had a nice candle to break out of this and then held it and continued. And today it had a nice day. 19 opened at 940 and closed at 973 with a high of 975. So closed right near its highs. See this candle, how it's holding? You don't see this little wick down here? It's holding almost all of this, barely any wick up there, barely like a tiny candle wick. That means it's holding its price. So watch for the continuation there on that. All right, kind of traded sideways here and then broke out of this little sideways thing. Had an uptrend, traded sideways, and then traded here, 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 and here sideways, and then it finally got over this. And then this giant candle was just to signify that we were really breaking out of here. And now we've opened up and closed strong again. So, all right. I don't have any calls right now, guys, until we figure out and see what's going on here, okay? The markets. All right, so I'll see you guys back here this weekend. We'll see what happens Friday, and then we'll just continue business as usual based off of that, all right? All right, manage that risk. In any case, trade defensive. Have a trading career like Floyd Mayweather. And you heard Paul Tudor Jones. He said if 90% of traders focus on that, they would be 90% more successful than what they are right now. If 90% of the traders focus on what they can lose and focus on how to protect it and how to trade defensive, like Floyd box defensive, like Floyd makes people miss. You want to make these stocks miss. You want to take light positions. Trade very lightly. Don't trade very heavy. All right? That's how you trade defensive. You trade light, okay? And you be watchful. All right, I'll see you guys this weekend.